is up, guys? Geeks of the West, how are you all doing? Which one is better? PC gaming or console gaming? Which one do you prefer? I personally, well, okay. You know what? Before I get into it and answer for me personally, let's get down into this and talk about the pros and cons of both. So, how about I start with consoles? The pro consoles aspect. Consoles can be cheaper for the most part, depending on when they come out, of course. You know, you plop down, depending on the console that you buy, and I will include Android devices, put down, especially if you're buying it used, and, even if console is used, for the most part, it's still going to run exactly how you want it to, or how you want it to. It's not gonna be outdated hardware like you would get if you bought $100 computer for the most part. So consoles can be cheaper. You know, you just plop down 100 to 500 bucks. You're good. You're set. You're done. And then there's also discounts. Sale drops. And for the most part, you see PS3, you know to buy the PS3. You see the PS4, you know to buy the PS4. And you don't have to worry about the RAM, the hard drive, the GPU, the CPU, anything that's in it, because for the most part you know it's going to play all of your PlayStation 4 games that you buy. Same with the PS3, you know it's going to play all the PS3 games that you buy. Xbox 360, you know it's going to play all the Xbox 360 games that you buy. Xbox One, it's going to play all the Xbox One games that you buy for the most part. So yeah, the consoles can be cheaper. You know what I mean? Just the console in general can be cheaper. Um, and it's simple because you just buy it, you put the game in, and voila, it works just like that. Just by a snap of a finger, it works. I mean, you have to, let the system start up for the very first time. Go through some stuff. Choose your time zone. You know, uh, Make the name, let some stuff install recent updates. But other than that, it walks you through it, and you plug it in, you're done, voila. There's no hardware or software issues. And I know it's not always true, red ring of death, yellow light of death, so on and so forth, defective consoles, software bugs that require updates. But for the most part, you don't have to worry about that. If you get a broken console that's broken right out of the box, you can just return it. You get a refund or the new one back. Especially if you buy the warranty. You don't have to worry about hardware issues yourself or software issues yourself. Other people will fix it for you. And that's the engineers that built the console. And back to the simplicity of the console, you turn on the console, plug in the controller, and you are set. And you don't have to worry about compatibility issues. You don't have to worry about whether or not the game will run on your console, for the most part. Because, like I said, PlayStation 4 games will work on PlayStation 4. PlayStation 3 games will work on PlayStation 3. PlayStation 2 games will work on PlayStation 2. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 1. Xbox 360, Xbox 360, and Xbox One, Xbox One. I can't say the same about the PC because some games won't be compatible with your GPU, or it's an older game, so you need to do something to make it compatible with Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows Vista, Windows 7, whatever you may have at the time. So those are the pros for consoles. They're just so much more simple. It's really simple. Really, really simple. It requires nothing. And this attracts both audiences, even people who are tech savvy and people who aren't tech savvy. Because tech savvy people sometimes don't want to be tech savvy for the time being, and they just want to plug in a console and a game and just start playing and have a good time and forget stuff. Now, pro PC, pro computer gaming. Computers are fucking powerful. Yes, consoles are technically computers, but for the price that you pay, computers are going to be so much more powerful. You can choose to buy a built computer already, or you can build it yourself. You're going to pay anywhere from $200 to $1,000 on a computer, depending on what computer you buy and whether or not you build it yourself and what parts you use. You can choose what CPU you have. You can choose what GPU you have. You can choose how much RAM you have and what RAM you have. You can choose what motherboard you have. You can choose all the stuff on your computer. You know what I mean? You can choose to have a solid slate drive. You can choose to have a hard drive. You can choose how many you have, how much hard drive space you have, hard disk space that you have. You know what I mean? And the more RAM you have, the faster your computer will be, as long as all your stuff is compatible. And you build it yourself, so you know what's going into your computer. And some games will be cheaper because lots of games go on sale on Steam for so fucking cheap, and they can do that because for the most part they don't have to give you any hardware to go with it. You buy a game on Steam and it downloads. You buy a game from retail. You're paying for the CD, the labor that it took to make the CD and package all of it, whether or not they actually use labor or machines, whatever. The art that goes into the CD cover, and then you have the plastic case that they have to pay for. The forming, getting the plastic and making the case. Okay, so getting all the basic materials, making the CD, making the art for the CD, making the material that the art goes on the CD, um, copy or writing the CD, writing the information on the CD. I hope you know what I mean by writing on the disc. Putting the information on the CD, DVD, or Blu-ray disc, and then they also, the plastic, and then making the case, and then you have sometimes the manual that they'll put in. The work that goes through typing that, printing that out, putting that together, stapling it together. Whether or not machine does, it still takes time. Even if you have machines, you got to pay for those machines to do it. Whatever, or the more power it takes. So the more power bills that this factory has to pay, and then put it all together, and then you need the case cover. Design that, print that out, put it in, put it all together, seal it in plastic, and maybe put a price sticker on it if the retail store doesn't. And then you have to drive it physically to another location. Not to mention, each game has to be inspected to make sure that it actually works, or that it's complete and that there's not a fuck up, that the case isn't broken. And I know sometimes defective games do slip up, and because nobody's perfect, no machine is perfect. Well, machines are more perfect than we are, but even they have their kinks and their problems. So, you know what I mean? But there's that. There's so much. I just spent forever talking about the case and the CD, so that proves why you can't make one of those games retail like $4. You know what I mean? I mean, you can find some PS2 games and PS3 games now that are $4 used, but new they're gonna be anywhere from 10 to $40. Okay, especially brand new games still run at $60 on the older consoles, and you can't deny that. It's very true. So yeah, on the PC, some games will be cheaper because you can either choose to go the hardware route. Most games are hardware CD based, or you can get them from Steam and wait for the Lunar sale, the Halloween sale, Christmas sale, whatever sale they have going on, or whatever promotions they have going on, and get some games for anywhere from $2 to $10 when usually price is $5 to $50. And I've bought a lot of games from Steam, especially on Halloween. I bought a lot of zombie and survival horror games, including Dead Space, Left 4 Dead, and Killing Floor. So cheap. I got like 5 games for 20-30 bucks. It was great. So games can be cheaper, even if the PC itself is more cheaper. Is cheaper depending on whether or not you build it and how powerful you want it to be. And there's so many games that you can have. The the PC has such a huge variety of games that have been being made since the dawn of computer gaming. You can play all those games even till this day. You can't play PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games on PlayStation 4 for the most part. Only select games. So you have that going for you. And the computer is an all-in-one device. You know what I mean? And I know like consoles can do a lot of stuff, but if you get bored of the game that you're playing, you don't have to turn it off and go walk to somewhere else in your room or your house. I mean, unless you want to. But you don't have to. You can just click the Windows button, or you can just save and leave the game and start doing something else on your computer. And you can play with the keyboard and mouse or a gamepad. And you don't have to buy a new PC every year, every other year, or every 5 years. You can keep your PC for longer than you can your consoles. I mean, You'll probably have to run games at a lower end of graphics, and it does help to buy a new computer or buy new hardware and update it yourself and install all the drivers. But you don't have to, just buy, take the money to buy an $800, $1,000 computer, or build an $800, $1,000 computer yourself, and you will keep that longer than the PlayStation 4 will be out, for the most part. I know there's games you won't be able to max out on graphics forever, but you're gonna have a piece of hardware, a console that's gonna last so long, and you won't regret it. But it all depends on what you're into. I have both because I'm playing CS:GO on my computer, my $700 computer, my first build ever that I actually had one of my friends help me build because it was my first time building it. I'm currently saving up to build another one. I think I'm gonna spend maybe 800 to 900 on this one, and I'm gonna buy the computer case in advance, try to get a discount on that, and see. But I bought all my stuff from Newegg, so I'm gonna compare prices and get them the cheapest I can from Amazon, Newegg, Fry's Electronics, whatever it may be. But I'm definitely gonna, I'm gonna buy parts from different places, not all from one. Try to get the cheapest price, the best bang for my buck for the same hardware. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, it depends on what you're into and whether or not you can afford either one. I suggest doing both. You don't have to build your computer. You can just buy. You can have somebody else build you one, or you can just buy one yourself. It doesn't matter. You're supporting the economy either way, which is good. A plus for you for spending money on whatever the hell you want to buy. So this is Geeks of the West signing out. Have a good one. Please check out my other videos. Peace.